Hey, Paul Kim here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Level Up 2025 Summit and the top takeaways from that, top 10 to be exact. And if you don't know what the Level Up Summit, I did a video before. I'll put it in the description. Go check that out so I could give you a little bit more information on what the Level Up Summit is. In today's video, because I went about a month ago, it took me some time to really gather my thought and write down all of the takeaways. And so in this video, I'm going to be going to give you those takeaways so that hopefully it will help you in your business to transform more income, more freedom using AI and automations. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so here we go. I just created a slide deck presentation to give you some of the key takeaways and also my honest review of the Level Up Summit. All right, so let's go through it. And what is Level Up? Level Up Summit, as I said before, I have a video of what exactly Level Up is in one of the videos that I've done previously. The link is below. But all in all, it's an annual summit or conference that GoHighLevel does in October for all of the basically SaaSpreneurs as well as entrepreneurs. All right, and I'm going to go over some of the takeaways for each of the speakers that I've attended. I didn't get the chance to go to all of the sessions, but the ones that I wanted to go to, I'm going to share with you those takeaways. And then I'm going to give you the Level Up Day. Level Up Day is basically the day that they allocate a couple of hours to share with all of the product releases that HighLevel has. And I'm going to go over the ones that I think is going to really make an impact in the coming year. And then I'm going to give you some of my tips for attending Level Up and some suggestions. All right, so let's go through it. Okay, so a little bit about myself in case you don't know who I am. I'm here to help entrepreneurs and business owners create more freedom, more income through AI systems and automations without burnout. Because I've been there, I've done it, all right? If you'd like to join my community, here's the link. It's also in the description as well. And then if you'd like to join my 30-day freedom sprint, the link to register is there. So I'm going to do a video about what the 30-day sprint is, but I haven't gotten a chance to do that yet. All right, so here we go. All right, so Billy Jean, right? I think he was at the previous summit, but one of the things, he talked about a lot of things, right? Each of these speakers talked about a lot of stuff. And so I took away some of the key points that at the end of the day, when I come out of these events, I want to take, or when I come out of each session, I made a decision to take away one action item or two action items that I'm going to do from listening to a main speaker. And so this one, the thing that resonated with me is that when somebody researches your company, is there content or a lack of? And so at the end of the day, you have to use AI to make content. And so one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this channel is how do we utilize, right, AI to make content. I am not talking about using AI to make visual content. I'm talking about just generally how to use it to really help you amplify what you do in your business, all right? And then also training AI to give it personality, okay? And I've done that from the time that I came back from the summit. I've actually took away and actually implement that in my business, and hopefully I'll do that in future videos as well. So action for me is when somebody submits a form. You can't really see it here, right? Have outbound AI reach out. So one of the key features that HighLevel has released is the ability to do outbound calls using AI. And so this is something that I want to implement in my business in this year or upcoming year. Okay. And Jesse Isler, okay, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but so basically the whole point of his speech was $1 billion and zero soul equals you $0. So $1 with $1 billion worth of soul equals $1 billion. So his point is, give your soul into what you do. And so it really resonates. He's a very powerful speaker. So basically, give your soul into, basically put all your effort. And so up until this point, I think I've been kind of laxical in my YouTube content. And so my goal for this year, and based on my action, is to give my all into my YouTube channel and really provide you value. And so what I would like, I don't know what that means, but it means that I'm going to take my YouTube channel more seriously. I'm going to provide as much value to you as much as possible, right? And so that means that I have to really get feedback from my audience and really give them what they want, right? At the end of the day. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Molly Mahoney. Okay. So she's really, like, when I spoke to her in person and seeing her up there on the podium, it's a whole different person. She's very, very fast. Anyway, she said most people have no clue what they actually want. And this is really true. I think at the end of the day, a lot of us go through life without really knowing what they want, right? And so, and the other thing she said was, I'm going to move my face over so you can see, okay? AI without soul is spam. And it's so true, right? Your AI, if you're creating AI, and you're utilizing, let's say, ChatGPT, it needs soul, and you need to help. You need to, like, I just had a conversation with my manager today as well. Just putting your input, your personality into the output of your AI needs to be done, okay? Your brand is your weirdness, right? Whatever it is, right? I have my own uniqueness, my way of speaking, the way I, convey to you, the way I speak to you. That is my brand. And then she also said, protect your IP. So if you're creating GPT and you're sharing it, you need to protect those as well, right? And the thing that that really resonated with me is, like, we can teach you, or she can teach you what to do, but you can't change until you change your mind. Okay. And so that really resonated with me, because the way we think, it's always, is based on our experiences and our perception. And so we got to learn to adjust. Okay. And then action. This is a personal discussion I had with Molly when I was there. It says, pick your lane and figure out what your lane is, right? And so for my YouTube channel, my lane is basically, really helping people transform their life with more income, with more freedom, right? And I think, that is really my mission for this channel. All right, so let's move on. Kevin Harrington. All right, so he said put a plan together. Like, overall, everything he talked about, but one thing that really stuck out is put a plan together. And so as soon as I left the event, my idea was to execute a one-day challenge, which I came up with during the event, but then it's kind of evolved into a 30-day freedom sprint, right? And so one of the actions that I'm going to do is I'm going to contact other podcasters that are their audience is entrepreneurs and talk about the 30-day freedom sprint. And I'm going to execute the 30-day sprint with others, which I've done this month with 4. Actually, there were 5, but 1 dropped out. 4 other sprinters, and I look for, I hope to, have others join the 30-day freedom sprint. And if you don't know about it, I put the link below as well. All right, so let's move on. Shama, okay, so the main thing with her is platforms incentivizes sorry about the misspelling, timeline windows. So, like, if you look at every social media platforms, they release new features, and those new features have certain timelines, so for example, if you look at LinkedIn, if you're doing videos or you're doing newsletters, there's timeline, meaning it's a great time for you to be posting and creating content and using LinkedIn. So right now, AI is the market disruptor, right? And that's why one of the reasons why I decided that I'm not going to ignore AI and I'm going to talk about AI more. And so what is that one action? LinkedIn newsletter. She talked about it, and it's something that I've been thinking about, but I'm not going to implement it immediately because I have so much on my plate. But what I did notice at the Bingo Local, it was one of the events that they had during the event. A lot of people raised their hand born in the 1970s and 80s. And so people that are in their 40s and 50s are within high level, which is the kind of people that I want to reach out to, right? And so how do I take that and implement that and take action with my LinkedIn newsletter? And that's what I plan to do. All right, so next is CC Tan. She is a founder of HL Accelerator, and she built a community around people that are, I guess, certified admins, okay? And so what she talked about was that community answers the fundamental human need to feel, right? And I think more and more that we are so inundated with information, especially with now ChatGPT or AI being able to give us information, and now the ability for people to put, create more content with AI. It's not about content, it's about building community and transformation. And so make it about them and not about you. And she said, what's the one thing? Ask them, right? And so that is some of the things that I'm going to implement as I build my community of people being transformed by more income and more freedom. Ask people what freedom means and what is it? So just basically ask them to get more feedback and input so that we can help more people. Okay. All right. So let's move on. I'm gonna move my face over here. Okay. Pavel. Okay. So he is, the two people I think I really look up to, actually three. There's Rob Bailey, Pavel, and also Jasper. And they create content specifically for the YouTube space and also for the high level space for affiliates. For me, I know this in my head, but I didn't really execute it until I came back from this summit, which is consistency is key. Consistency is key. Consistency is king, right? Content is king, but consistency, right? So action. What am I going to do? My goal is to push out 3 videos per week, right? And one of the things I'm going to do, take away from this, is I'm going to review the outline. I actually created an outline of what Pavel does, and I'm going to review it and implement it within my business, okay? So moving on, Nick. Okay, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. I apologize, okay? But he is a motivational speaker, and he talks about different patterns of focus. And so one of the things the many things that I came away from listening to him was, what do you focus on? What I have and what I don't have, right? Really, ask yourself, what do I focus on? What I have, being blessed with, or what I don't have and being jealous of, right? You can change your focus, change your life, right? Do I focus on what I can control and what I can? And this is something I actually have learned to do, is to focus on the things that I can control. But sometimes we all are overwhelmed with the things to do. And so one of the motto, or one of the goals, mission of this channel is to help simplify your life, right? And the other thing is, do you focus on the past, present, and future, right? I'm not going to go into exactly everything that he talked about, but these are some of the things that really help to really change your mind, change my mind, okay, or my mindset, okay? And then he talked about the storytelling framework, story, teach, and breakthrough, right? I still got to go back to his notes and really, and that's what I wrote there, action. I wrote review his notes and practice storytelling. All right, so that's, I hope, I know that there's no way that I can pretty much give you everything that I learned, but I hope that little things, the little nuggets that I've spoke about here and I told you about will help you in your journey as being an entrepreneur. Okay, all right. So let's move on. So Level Up Day in 2025, there was that when they talked about all the various releases, right? AI took center stage. Basically, AI is what they're going. High Level is going to be talking about and focused on for the coming year. Okay, and these are some of the things that I think are going to make an impact. They have a native desktop app, and that's going to be basically you don't need to log in, but it's going to be a native app. I think it's released already for the Mac, but not the not for PCs. There is a mobile app that is being released, or maybe released. I don't know yet. So all this stuff is new, but I think these are ones that are going to be most impactful. Ads Manager, I'm not a big ads guy, but I'm sure this Ads Manager is going to make a big impact for those that are running ads. Okay, new funnel and website AI. Definitely, if you're creating funnels or you're creating websites, this is more impactful. And then also the new release of being the website widget being able to speak voice AI being implemented with the website web chat. Okay, and then we have, of course, the advanced workflow builder, which I still haven't been able to play around with, but that is going to be it's going to be very impactful, I think, for you to be able to visually see the workflow. And then, of course, I think, from the past year that they've released AI Employee, they made huge improvements to the AI. And I think the outbound voice AI is going to make a huge improvement within the year. So wait until next year, I think, but this is going to make a huge impact, and they're going to make huge improvements in this as well. Okay. All right. Let's move on to my tips. All right. So tips and strategies for if you plan to come to the Level Up Summit. I think this also applies to when you go to any event. Go with specific intention, right? So what that means is don't just go there with nothing. You're just going to absorb everything. There's no way you can absorb everything. Go with a specific intention. If you already know who the speakers are, go with an intention. I think they have different tracks for different type of whatever. I think SaaS, if you're doing affiliates, or if you're doing I forget the other two the tracks, but there are 4 tracks, I think, altogether. I went in last year, the year before, with no intention, and I was like overwhelmed and like flooded. And so I went into this summit with a specific goal and specific speakers that I want to see. And so I was not overwhelmed. My intention was to meet as many people as possible. I met with at least 25 new people that I connected with, and I spoke with them. And so go there with a specific intention. And the next one is network with others. I think one of the great things about these events is the ability, and it gives you I think when we work as solopreneurs, or you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times you're working by yourself. I think this gives you the opportunity to meet with others that are going in the same direction as you. And so I would encourage you to meet and talk with as many people as possible, right? And don't buy a course. Don't buy, this is, if you're very new, then, you need to learn, right? But I think what happens when you go to these events is that there are going to be exhibitors, there are going to be coaches, there are going to be people that are going to sell you or promote their stuff. I would step back from that and just be cautious of buying another course, okay? Because at the end of the day, I think you need to know your you need to know your destination before you actually buy the courses. But anyway, try not to buy and get into and buy multiple courses. Okay, I still to this day, I think I bought a YouTube course with Sean Kennel many years ago, and I still haven't gone through that course. Okay, so anyway, be strategic with the speakers. I spoke about that before as well. You can't go to all the speakers. I would not recommend it because it is just information overload. I think you have to be strategic. I think one of the things that High Level has to do is give better information on the speakers, because I really didn't know from looking at the I guess the booklet they gave, like what they're going to talk about. And so I actually walked out on a couple of the speakers because it just didn't resonate with what I was trying, what my intentions were. And so so be clear on, be strategic with the speakers, and buy your tickets early. Like if you buy the tickets at the event for next year, it will be the cheapest. I think I bought my tickets for like $697 or something like that. Now it's like $997, right? So I bought my tickets. I saved myself $300, right? $300 is still a long way. It's $300. And then also a little tip here, right? Because the location of this venue is so close to other hotels, save money. I did, because I actually stayed at a local, I forgot the name of the hotel because I roomed with somebody. It was like half the cost. Actually, no, it was like a quarter of the cost, because I I stayed with another attendee, Justin. If you're watching this, Justin, thanks, buddy. All right, so that is it. And so our mission is to help you create more freedom, more income through AI systems and automations without burning out. And that is my mission, because I've been there. I think I could say it wholeheartedly that I was able to do more, create more, doing less. All right, so I hope you can do that. I hope that I can help you do that as well through this channel. All right. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel. All right, until next time, bye.